welcome to the Holy Hour Podcast. It's the bi-weekly all-cure podcast, and woo, do we have an episode for you guys today. I'm Gavin, joined by Chaz and Antonio. Hello, fellas.
Hello. What's going on?
Everything's going on. This is the big moment we've been waiting for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or what is going on?
That's like Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so this is I didn't want people out there to think that we had not paid attention to all these details unfolding, but as we know in Cure news, it's always drought or downpour where we get nothing for fucking 9 months, and then all of a sudden it's, oh shit, I gotta put out 3 episodes this week to cover everything that's been going on. So So I thought this would be a good time to catch up with you fellas and do a quick walkthrough of all these wonderful promotion updates we've been getting day by day, a little something. And also, now that we know, new album coming out November 1st, I think we can all get pretty comfortable. I think I'm still sticking to my I'll believe it when it's in my hands and I'm playing it. But for the most part, I think we are set for a new album. Are you guys in the same boat? Any even slight doubts at this part that it's going to turn into a surprise show or live album or anything? I think
not now.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think if you would have asked me 24 hours ago, I probably would have been like, I'm still on the fence.
I was still keeping a minimum amount of skepticism. Just because that's what you
pessimist is never disappointed, right? One of those. Just to fill in the listener of where you're popping in and where we're doing this, we're recording this now on September 23rd, Monday night. So about a full week after all this really started unraveling. And as of today, we'll get to this again in the timeline, but today was a very big day in the sense that they announced that Alone will be released in its entirety on Thursday on streaming and played on BBC. So interesting that I caught that they weren't using all the official things. Nobody was saying the word single. They were saying the new song from The Cure. So I got kind of a vibe that they're going more of it's just an advanced track angle. But, does that really matter anymore? It's the single pretty much. But at the same time, maybe that gets them out of not putting out like a 7-inch or a CD single of it or something. So I don't know.
Well, you can't buy it, can you? Like, you can't pre-order to buy the digital track of it, can you?
No, they're still calling it a streaming event. So that's where I'm kind of confused on, is it going to stream once? Is it going to be on streaming but not purchased?
Yeah, we'll see.
Again, there's still holds because there isn't full info.
But we'll get some version of it on Thursday, and we were just saying maybe we'll tack a little something on the end of this to give a quick opinion, but then of course we'll cover it real thoroughly in the next episode, so bear with us. But so much happened before that, so let's backtrack. Where I left off in the last episode, we had just gotten the first sign of the black cards went out. The mysterious black postcards were first appearing, and we had only one poster appear, the one outside of the railway, formerly known as the Rocket, and that was it. So technically, as of that stage of the last episode, it could have been a deranged fan that was just really fucking going bonkers.
Right, just paid to put an ad up.
I still was pretty optimistic, but I was really hoping for an official confirmation. And of course, that would come literally the first Monday after that. So I woke up that Monday.
Well, I wanted to say first, fuck everyone who got one of those postcards and then sold them.
Yeah, the eBay.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
you were really the fucking fuckiest fucks. Like, that is so, like,
dirty.
Like, the band picked you out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they picked who got what, but like there was like how many do you think went out? A couple hundred?
I don't know.
Maybe?
Yeah, it hasn't been a flood still. Like, we're barely seeing any. I don't know if people are just not posting them or I'd be posting that shit all over everything. If I got one of those, I'd be running up and down the street with it. Like that little
it would be framed by now. And like up next to me right now, like as we were talking, if I had one, but like these people selling them.
And everyone kind of just assumed the merch angle, which does make the most sense because it's the only way we're really going to have your address. But same time, I thought I saw somebody posted something that's like, I didn't even buy anything. I don't know how they found my address.
Tickets?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really weird that it has been.
Well, because even when you sign up for the mailing list, it's only your email, so it has to be at some point you've purchased something from them. You know,
the only other angle I saw, maybe the people were being kind of tight-lipped about it in that angle, because when it was like 4 initially, I started to try to look the people up, you know, which I'm sure a lot of people did on Facebook and shit. And you couldn't, I'd narrow it down to where I got to their Facebook page, but then they just didn't have much info because I wasn't their friend, you know. But I saw like one of the dudes, and I thought initially it was just because they were forwarding it to the NME, but I'm pretty sure one of the dudes works for fucking NME. And then another dude had some radio connection. So it did seem at least like a few of them had some kind of like media. So
maybe it went out to like...
Yeah, like somebody
to industry people.
People that were still Cure fans, clearly I'd see on their photos. They were like, you know, at Cure shows and shit, you know, but they did have those slight connections. And that's, you know, 75%. You know, something and a lot of assumptions still, but maybe it was something like that, which kind of makes more sense. Because if they were just rando grabbing people that, because I saw people blow it up on Facebook of like, I bought $300 worth of shit and
I didn't get it.
Where's my fucking ticket? You know, and I was like, all right, calm down.
I got a golden ticket. But I have to say, like, especially being that like I have a job in marketing. This is probably as frustrating as it is because it's like it wasn't a straight answer. This is really fucking cool the way they're going about this in a very strange, creative way that we definitely have never seen before. So kudos on that part. I mean, you got people talking. You know, you're putting, you know, different as we go through the timeline. You'll see like when the first like drop of hint was the change of the logo, the that, billboards, and it's really kind of fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. I love it more so now that it's official and really them and really pointing to the album. You know, like initially I was kind of like, this is great and all, but I want some more proof that this is the actual fucking album we're talking about.
Like they got hacked. This is BS.
Now I can enjoy it a lot more. But yeah, it is super rad. I love that it's all mysterious and weird and not over the top. If anything, it's just very, you know, subtle. And, you know, people that don't even really love the Cure being like, hey, I saw there's some weird Cure shit going on. What's going on, Gavin? You know, like so it's definitely popping up all over the music websites and shit. And people were
people were sending me screenshots of like where they saw it online or on social media as if I hadn't seen it yet. You know, and they're
like, dude,
dude at the dispensary jumped on me like as soon as I walked in the door. Hey. The other day, he's like, "Do you know album's coming out?" I was like, "Yeah." I
haven't been refreshing my phone every 5 minutes for the past week.
As soon as I was waking up every morning, I was going Cure.com, refresh.
It's really feeling like on Mondays they're dropping something.
Mondays and Fridays. So that's cool.
Yeah. So so Thursday. So I'm expecting maybe something next week also, like an announcement of something.
Well, I think it's interesting that that's what's interesting about it is they're doing it on a Thursday, and new music usually comes out on Fridays.
Yeah.
So is it they're only going to stream it, and if you don't listen to it live streamed, that's it, and then maybe it drops the next day on the streaming platforms? I don't know.
It'll be on YouTube 2 minutes later. Somebody's already got their shit set up to record it and get it on there. So yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I mean, the fact that they put specific times for all the zones, I'm assuming that's when it's going to pop up. That wasn't the BBC time, was it? Like for the streaming?
No, because they did. Well, at least what I saw was Eastern Standard and what else did they do? They had
a couple Australian time.
Yeah,
I think they had on there. So.
Yeah, I'll be at work at 7 in the morning, so
you just have to. I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. Just go.
Oh yeah,
I have the dogs.
Yeah.
Just crying in the corner.
Yeah, I know. I was
come
like,
up and licking me.
But like, that's what I don't know what to do. It's like, am I setting my alarm for 7 a.m. when I don't have to get up that early? You know, because like I have like a late night work event on Thursday.
Okay,
so I'm gonna wake the whole family up by blasting it at 7 a.m. It's going.
Yeah.
Wait, is it 7 a.m. Thursday here or 7 a.m. Friday here?
Thursday, I believe. Yeah,
Thursday. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll be at work on Thursday. So
yeah, because that's what I thought was weird. Because I'm like, well, new music comes out on Friday.
I think that's usually just full albums. Yeah, so I think you could drop the single anytime you want. I saw somebody saying that sometimes labels will do that to avoid the Friday entanglements. But
yeah, so we're saying this is technically not a single. Then is that what we're going with?
I mean, other people were saying it, but I've noticed all the official ones. Yeah, I think more just because in the sense that they're not looking for it to be a blow up the charts kind of thing, you know, or it's their way around saying it's the first song from the album. I don't know. I don't think anyone's really going to dwell on it that long, but I thought it was interesting. It was more in my mindset because I was hoping already that it was like, oh man, that'd be cool if they put a 7-inch out or a CD single or something for it where you could, and a B-side, you know, is what I was hoping for, but there's no time for that at this point anyway. So.
Yeah, the only thing was like if they had that stuff already made in like house to ship out right away, they could do something like that. But like other than that, there's no way that you would be able to get anything, which concerns me about the new album, which is what I'm thinking probably next week we'll get an update of when we can pre-order.
Yeah, maybe there isn't a pre-order. Like
that would be fucking wild, dude. If there's no pre-order, like
because especially with vinyl, because not everybody's gonna have a place where you can get vinyl near you, or even fucking CDs at that matter. Like, let's be honest, like music stores are closing down left, right.
That's what I was wondering. Like, I mean, I got a good record shop here that would definitely have it, but like, would like fucking Target and shit have it? You think? I mean. Last time
Universal,
I was in there,
so probably.
Yeah. I mean, they're big enough, and my Target only has like 8 rows of Taylor Swift. Is like the only fucking thing. I'm like, no wonder she's the #1 artist. It's the only fucking album you selling.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I think they might.
That's a question I had on the list. Is are we doing a pre-order even? Because that'd be fucking cool if it wasn't. I mean. We don't need it.
You have a month, so unless, like I said, like unless they have that stuff in hand, I don't think that's something that they're really going to worry about as much as they want to get this music out. Which, if it's digital to start out with, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just want something. Like I care less about a vinyl or a CD or something physical.
Yeah, at this point,
now.
I just want to hear it. Yeah.
I'm sure it's all in the works. If they're putting mysterious fucking billboards up and shit, this has been planned for a while, you know. So I feel like all this is.
Yeah, you're not gonna put money into something like this if you're not dropping a record.
Yeah.
I just don't see them being able to print like 250,000 records without anybody knowing about it.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they haven't been maybe it's been going on since January. So we haven't heard shit for a long time. So maybe it has.
I'm pretty sure that pressing plants have to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that, but like you also have to worry about labeling and the people making the art, and like that's a lot of leaks you got to worry about. So I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like I'm completely okay with ordering a record to come to my house 6 months from now, just as long as I have the ability to listen to the album right away. So
that was the initial and still kind of fear with all this, is that November 1st is the pre-order date. That's the day we order it, you know, like
exactly.
Don't do that to me.
I know.
Don't.
I mean,
that would suck.
It would soften it in the sense that if we could stream it and then pre-order, but oh yeah, people are gonna fucking riot in the streets if that's the deal. But I can't imagine they would do that. That's fucked up. So I don't even want to put that into the universe of ideas. So anyway, let's backtrack through the fun stuff and real quick on a lot of these, because that first Monday was great because that was the one where I woke up. Kind of expected something. The first news was a digital billboard in Madrid was the first one. And that was rad enough for me because I figured this wasn't a crazy fan just hanging up one poster and sending out black postcards. This was like somebody paid for this. This is so even that was the confirmation I was looking for at the end of my last ranting episode there where I was like, so that was great. But then I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop refreshing my fucking phone. I'm gonna go mow the lawn and see what the hell happens. And that's when we all started texting each other frantically because the emails showed up, official emails from the fucking band. And what a cool way to do it, I guess. We got this cryptic email saying go and enter the Roman numerals into the website that you got the link for.
That was fucking annoying.
Yeah, because they even went out and got a different URL. Like, it's a different website. Yeah,
it was like a weird...
so I was afraid. I was like, I don't want to click this link. I'm gonna get
everybody was kind of like,
I'm gonna get weird porn on my website on my computer, and then my wife's gonna get mad at me.
Oh my god, the Chinese had all of my information already.
Yeah, exactly.
So they got it again.
Fuck it, I'm taking the chance at this one. Yeah. So yeah, then it turned into some Indiana Jones shit where we had to figure out what the fuck the Roman numerals for November, then remember to flip it because it's British, and then
it was the year that got me because it was so many of them where I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm like,
X3X
CC,
which is great now, having done it 500 times. I actually never thought I would have November 1st, 2024 memorized in Roman numerals. So that's kind of cool. You learn a lot as a Cure fan over the years. So yeah, that was pretty rad. I could have sworn while I was fucking around with it, I got the other email that took me there. So I don't know if I hit it by accident and then was still trying to decipher it because I was still trying to punch in other codes and stuff. And I was like, oh wait, maybe. Yeah, so
you're like, maybe it's my birthday.
Yeah. I was like, maybe it's Robert's birthday. This goes deeper. How many sites are there? And I was like, no, just go to the goddamn site. And so yeah, that was the one that led to our first appearance of the space rock when you finally unlocked it, and we got if you drag it, you get to see the rock with the little face on there. Very cool and cryptic and weird, but awesome. And
and like you make it like they made it in a way where like Cure fans were gonna try to break everything down, where it's just like Jesus, like people going through art books trying to find this face, and I'm like, okay, if you found it, what now?
Exactly.
And they're like trying to read stuff off the back of it, and
it's like a trying DVD to decipher menu with secret tapping on every corner of the screen.
And I'm just like, oh man, I was just like, guys are like the people that break down Taylor Swift lyrics.
Yes. We've been waiting for this for 16 years. We're going to find every clue we can.
And I get it. I'm just like, just let's take a deep breath, guys.
And they did it. There was a cool unearthed the sculptor, the Slovenian artist Jens Piernat. Have you seen the actual sculpture? It's like a more vertical where it is the exact fucking face there. And then they connected it to a piece of Robert's artwork that he did for that Heart Research a couple years back, where he did like kind of a weird sketch of a sideways face in like a rock kind of format. So he is definitely tapped into this image for quite a while now and has had this ready to roll. But I don't even know who to give that credit to, because as soon as somebody picked it up, like everybody posted that picture everywhere. So somebody corrected
where does that lead you? Like we're in this rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know he likes this artist now. So, but yeah, pretty cool. It's the exact image. And let's see. Oh, and then the WhatsApp thing, which is big kind of a
yeah.
So that's
I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I'm not. I have way too many social media apps. I'm good.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like I already have it WhatsApp, so I was like, all right, whatever.
I was like, how many more mailing lists do I got to sign up for?
I know. That's what I was like. Well, when it first came out, I was like, I don't have to sign up, do I?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
because
what
I've signed up for like 5 Cure mailing lists through my years.
Yeah,
like,
every time there's a new thing, I sign up for it. So there's probably like 500 of my email addresses clogging up
seriously.
their mailing list. But
Oh, for sure. I mean, I put in like all my email addresses. I'm like,
right.
just give it to me.
So that was a good Monday. We got everything official. That locked it in for me, and I was feeling pretty good about that. Like you guys, I'm sure. So a good official. Clearly, this is a new album now, November 1st. Anything more will be great if they announce a tour with it or fun t-shirts, whatever. But at least like I'm 99% sure that this is an album. So
You're also going to be able to buy the actual sculpture.
yeah, probably, yeah. For an extra $4,000, you can
with $3,000 shipping.
Yeah, for charity.
Yeah.
That's for charity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday. So then we just got kind of subtle updates throughout the week here. Tuesday, we got more digital billboards popping up of the space rock image we got Rome, Toronto, which I think I saw just today or yesterday that the Toronto one's already taken down. So that one must have cost a little more or something. All right, let's move it on to a different city. And of course, New York City. And a few more black postcards would trickle in. Still not a lot. And still to this day, I don't think anybody from the U.S. has showed
the S
one.
got
So,
one. I don't think
yeah,
so. Yeah. Post is just too much.
That whole Ticketmaster thing, he's like, fuck them. They're not getting any black postcards. So totally could understand why. Czech Republic got some postcards, Spain. And then on Wednesday, we got the subway poster in Paris, which was pretty cool, more official. Oh, and this one I can credit to curenews.net. It looked like they had found the image of the space rock had been previously used on the Euro tour, the 2022 Euro passes, like the backstage passes. The little image was on there already. So kind of cool again that this is a important image that was all along. It was there. Thursday, official Cure sites posted the GPS coordinates and a video. This was the Blackpool Robert's birthplace, where it was a cool little edited video. So this was kind of a weird one where it was just like the tower and little shots of quick shots of Blackpool town there. And I was like, all right, so that got everybody kind of thinking show again or something. This seemed a little more like this was more than just a little shout out to his birthplace. It wasn't.
I feel like this is where all the Cure conspiracy people kind of went off the rails.
Exactly.
Where I heard my favorite one that I heard was that the Cure were gonna play. This is going to be their last show at the Blackpool Tower, and only for the people that got those black tickets.
Yeah. So,
and I'm like,
wow.
Are you trying to make me angry?
Yeah. It's like that would be horrible. It's like I'm not.
That would be the worst idea for this band that tries to be inclusive as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah. I mean, the worst they did, I think, to any of us was maybe when they didn't tour with the Disintegration show and just played it in Australia, but like everybody got to watch it. So, I mean, you can't really complain that much about it. And then it got, you have it to listen to whenever you want to, but like the thought of that, like absolutely drove me up the wall.
Yeah.
That's when I made that meme. Cause I was just like, I can't fucking take this anymore.
This is bonkers. Yeah. I don't know if there's any evidence of them ever playing Blackpool. Have they played any shows there? I don't even think they've ever played there. I mean, the capacity of that tower is like 2,000, 3,000 standings. I mean, it's really fucking, I mean, they could do it, and maybe they still will, but I don't think that'll be all they're doing. And this is, just a kind of cool little shout out to where he was born, I think. But that was definitely a wrinkle though, for sure, because it was like a really, somebody could edit that in like a day, of course, but at the same time somebody actually spent time on that. It wasn't just like a weird poster sighting or something. It was like, what the fuck was that all about? So still don't really know, so we'll see still on that one.
What song was that to? Was it to Any Music?
No, it was like
that one was the one that was
one. Yeah, I think so. That's what it looked like. It would have music over it, but it just didn't.
I'm wondering if like each song has like their own type of like video to it, almost.
Yeah,
like some kind of digital media with it.
Like when you stream on like Spotify or whatever, like you can have different videos playing in the background.
And maybe that has some sort of meaning within one of the songs.
Yeah.
Where that's like the video to the back of the song.
True.
Because why would they like it seems like such a waste just to put that up without any music to it. That's like I had to like close my phone out and listen to it again because I had to check and make sure my AirPod was connected to my phone. I was like, where the fuck am I missing something? Like what's going on here? But
So maybe the jury's still out on that one, and we'll get that in some kind of, at least as a backdrop video for the next shows they play or something. It seems like they'd use it again for something, but but who knows? So that was kind of strange and cool. Then Friday rolled around, and shout out to Nicholas Hedges on this one, because he did give me the heads up on this one. It was again Friday. I updated my phone like 5,000 times in the morning, and then he said, "Hey, check your emails." I was like, "Okay, cool, fine, I can do it." So that was the day we got the snippet, right? The Alone. Another website and email saying punch in your Roman numerals, same setup again, and eventually unlocked that there was a glorious space rock. This time it had a little dotted line coming out of it, and it said Alone. And we got to hear the studio version of Alone. This is it, the whole song. No, 30 seconds.
No, hey. If that. Well, I think it was like 19.
Yeah, was it even shorter? I felt like
I think it was shorter than that.
The WhatsApp one was definitely really short. They set it out too. I got that one second, and that one was like 10, 17 seconds, I think, or something. But so this was, you get the first line of the vocal, so that was pretty cool. And it was good just to hear the background noises, but it mostly satisfied my soul a little bit just hearing that it sounded very true to the live version, and it wasn't, they weren't going to.
That's why it was so hard to tell, because I was
it was,
the production on their live stuff, especially on that last tour, was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I was like, Simon's bass tone was with that super clean, but super dirty in it. And like, I was like, listening with, I was like, I need to listen with like my good headphones,
right. Yeah. So it's great to hear. He just sound fucking amazing on it. So
his voice is like, I had listened to that clip so many times. I'm just like, his voice is amazing. And it's just, I can't wait to like, just listen to that song like on repeat. 'Cause I know it's going to hit me. Just knowing what we know from like the live and like knowing how that song, how good it is, and like how it still sounds the same, and you're just like, this, at least the 5 songs that we're gonna get are gonna be they're gonna be good to great. So but if they continue to sound like they did live, which was one of the big concerns I think that we all had, was with transferring over. But like from what the little snippets that we got, it does sound like a lot like what we heard live.
Right.
And if it is, we're in for at least a half a good album.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, let's think about this for a second. Like, can you ever remember, Cure or not, a time where a band played at least 5 new songs on a tour a minimum of a year before they even put the record out? So they played those songs a shit ton before this record is getting dropped, which I think can only really lead to it really just being like fucking perfect. Like if it's that perfect live, it would be I don't know how you would fuck it up on recording.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's always the fear if you hear something too much before that it's just going to take the adjusting of hearing the studio. I feel like a little bit for me as a kid was Letter to Elise because I listened to that Unplugged one like a billion times. I can't remember how long of a time it exactly was, but enough where I had that burned so deep in my head. And then I loved the studio version, but it definitely wasn't the same in the sense, of like just hearing every little tone. So I was kind of like, it's a little too clean now. I don't know. It's just like every little you get used to hearing that. But I mean, they played it pretty much the damn same Alone, like every night of that tour. So I think that one was pretty tight. I guess we'll never really know which ones were giving him the trouble that he needed to re-record or not get the perfect vocal take on, I mean, but it would be fascinating. And if it comes out in some kind of interview of like, well, what were the ones? Maybe it was the 4 that we don't know or something. Because, I mean, this sounds exactly like how he was fucking singing it live, So I hope he wasn't beating himself over that because he could have knocked that out the first night, It's like, you sound great, dude. Just trust your instincts, man. It's great.
Yeah, for real. Just take one of the live recordings and run it through a studio and fucking...
Yeah, even every bootleg we heard from the tour, none of them sounded shitty or like he just wasn't nailing it right or anything. I mean, he fucking always sounds great. So just to get through the timeline, then that brings us up to today. So waking up with the confirmation of Alone, like we already said, is going to be streamed in some form on, I guess on the radio and hopefully in all our streaming services.
I'm just going to wait at 7 a.m. and I'll listen to it then.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like it's going to slip by me. I'm going to fucking be like refreshing my phone from 6:30 on pretty much, So I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I'm assuming all the streaming services will have it ready to roll and we could just fucking listen to it nonstop till November 1st at this point. So looking forward to it.
I was at work this morning at 6 and I opened up Facebook or something like that at like 6:30 and The Cure had just posted the thing like 2 minutes before.
Yeah.
And I think really I texted early. You right away.
Yeah. I was like, sweet. Yeah.
I was just like, Thursday.
It's the day. So, yeah, I mean, I figured it was kind of coming because of that snippet on Friday, like why hold out at this point? We all were curious of like the idea of a single. Yeah. And that was definitely not the one I would think if you're doing it traditional single wise, I was thinking,
well, the 5 songs that we have that we know, but like none of them are real
like chart toppers.
Radio singles.
Yeah, like Fragile Thing, but everybody seems to like that the least out of all of them. I think it's a good single, but yeah, I mean, that's why I think it's kind of the Bloodflowers approach, single, not single. They're just putting it out, and that's fucking fine. They're the Cure; they can do whatever they want. We were saying they should have done that for Underneath the Stars. Should have been the fucking single.
Yep.
It's like they're the Cure. You could put out a mopey song. Nobody cares. I mean, the fact that it's like 8 minutes long or something kind of shows that you're not going to get it played on nobody's going to fucking play it on the pop radio anyway. So, but I mean, because it's such a big deal and it's been so long, I bet this does get some airplay, outside of this. So.
Will we get a poppy single, like not a single, but will we get a poppy song like, I don't know, like The Only One or something like that where
I feel like if they had it, they would have played it.
By now? Yeah, I feel the same way, but I'm also
Thing is probably the closest, so it's a little more upbeat, but I don't think any of them are. So.
Well, you know what, when he was first alluding to there being multiple albums, I feel like specifically the reason for that is I think this one is all going to be very down, very somber, very, emotional, very, and then the next one maybe having a different feel. And, and I think that's kind of what he was going for. But at this point, again, we have no clue. Yes. It took this long for 1 to even get teased to being out, much less 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll touch on that a bit coming up too, but it's like, yeah, he said the second one was poppier, would be more of a combo album like they've done in the past, but it's hard to get excited for a future Cure album before we have the first one that took 16 years to get here. So that's right. Yeah, we'll see. But
I know I realized when I was talking to Elvis about it that I said it's been 13 years. And I was like, oh no, that was 3 years ago when we were
right.
when we got hinted that there was a new like,
yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
I was doing the math and I was like, why do I keep saying 13 years? It's been more than that now.
So yeah, 16 fucking years it's been, and that's something I touched on. I did a quick holy half hour. So anybody interested in the Patreon, go sign up so you could hear, because a part that I initially had in the notes for here was to walk through the timeline of 2008 to now of all the things that had popped up and announcements about the 3 albums, about the 1 album, what was holding it up. And I mean, that's like a whole fucking episode in itself. So I did it as a separate one over there. But it is crazy to break it down to just since 2018, after the Meltdown Festival, that's when they first started talking about this album. So we'll even cut them a break there and say 6 years we've been waiting for this album. And even as I did that, it was kind of funny because I narrowed it down to, well, the COVID year, 2020, we'll cut him a pass on that, just scratch that, even though I didn't even realize until I was going through the notes. At that point, he had a quote saying, I've done everything but the vocals on like 3 songs, 4 songs. I'm recording them at home so I don't bother other people. And so at the start of COVID, he was at home with the, he could have totally
with the record.
Yeah.
But who knows? We don't want to talk, but we'll give him a free pass because it was 2020. Nothing fucking happened that year. It was horrible. And then.
Now, when in the timeline did they also, because I feel like the one thing where like, also we got news-wise was of the cancer situation.
That's what I was gonna say. The other year we can scratch is pretty much this year, because at the end Roger got diagnosed right before the South American leg in around like October of last year. So that makes total sense that why this year's been so quiet. They've been waiting, you know, this has probably been done since the start of the year and ready to roll, but they're not going to drop this whole PR thing and a new album while he's battling fucking cancer and stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. And that was like, oh shit, okay, you know. And once he got the all clear for now and he's responding well to the treatments, let's do this, let's put the album out. And that catches us up to now. So I would even give him the pass on this year, which is kind of funny because it's 6 years. But if you scratch 2 of those out, it's 4 years, which is their regular 4-year gap if you start it from then on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But I also love that the 16 year is, like you said a few episodes back, Chaz, where it is still the 4-year gaps. We just missed like 3 albums leading up to this, but it is still the 4-year pattern. So it's there. So as we connect the crazy fucking strings on the wall, still it still is lining up to make sense. So yeah, we'll give them a pass on those 2 years, and here we are, 6 years in the making, we'll say at least, and man, it's full on Lost World fever. So you guys excited? I feel like it's definitely got me where this is the most excited I've been for a Cure album since probably before Wish, you know, like the ones after I was kind of up in my own shit enough and distracted, or before Blood Flowers, before even Wild Mood Swings.
But also, let's be honest, the last time they put out a record, we did not have as much social media, and we didn't get the information.
Sure.
There wasn't so much information. It was more, you know, message boards, magazine interviews, maybe, you know, so
in shorter time frames. It's like the album's coming out in 4 months, get excited. I'm like, yay, cool.
Right. Exactly. But now we're in information overload world, you know, so it's a way different anticipation, I feel like, because we can like monitor these things, and we do have direct communication essentially, you know, with the bands because of social media and things like that. And
which kind of drives me crazy for everything, because it's like, it's like as soon as the Meltdown Festival was over, he was like, I'm inspired again, I'm gonna start recording. So we knew as soon as he had the fucking like idea, really, before anything was even. Now we're anticipating. It's like movies now, and they're like, they're gonna make a new Star Wars movie, and I'm like, sweet, and it's gonna come out 8 years from now, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, why?
They're still trying to figure out who's gonna do it.
They're
still trying. Exactly.
So it's like, geez, let's just wait until like now would be great this year to be like, okay, because that's a lot of fucking anticipation. But I'm excited as shit now, and especially like we said, knowing it's looking pretty damn official. This PR stuff's been great, and we'll see what happens in the next month. Maybe they'll keep dropping little nuggets. Maybe they won't do anything after Alone comes out. It'll just get kind of quiet. Whatever. Either way, this has been great. So I'm loving it, and yeah, a lot of anticipation for this record, as we've said, and it's the first fucking album since doing the podcast. Even there's a lot of time frames of things that have happened since 2008. That's the other little subcategory of like just how much our lives have all changed since 2008. I mean, this is crazy.
I was 27.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I was like,
I only had one kid and she was only a year old, and now she's a senior in high school, and I have a freshman in high school also.
I had no kids, was married for 1 year. 1 year. And 27 and living in Philadelphia. So it
sounds like a sitcom.
The
day 413 came out, I proposed to Casey. So that was like the start of it. We didn't even still get married until the next April, so it was fucking crazy.
I don't think the excitement really set in until I heard Robert's voice on Friday.
On the snippet.
I know.
I don't think it really hit me that I kind of already knew it was going to be a new album, but I don't think the reality of it kind of hit me that we're going to be getting a new album. I was at Trader Joe's for 8 years, and we didn't have a Cure album within that time.
Just hey, think of your careers and jobs, how many jobs you've had since 2008.
And this is the first new Cure album of
for ages,
our sons' lives.
What I mean? I wrote down here 16 years we've had no new albums, of course, but we had reissues. We got Torn Down. We got 3 live albums, 2 new songs, but live on Curation. But those were even leftovers, and and we've heard those 6 live songs, but nothing. It's crazy to think that it's just this whole time they've been an active band and part of our lives enough to do a fucking podcast about it every other week, but we still haven't had a fucking album since then. So
George
crazy.
W. Bush was still president.
I gave that stat. And the other one, 4 presidents in that time frame. We've had 4.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So pretty crazy. And so, but we've been talking about this single coming up and almost overshadows the full album. November 1st, fucking great. Technically, if they do the 1201 drop on the actual album, we're gonna be able to listen to it Halloween night. And so I think albums work that way. So do they appear at 1201 albums on Friday? I never really cared enough to wait at 1201 for movies and shit I've done and TV shows, but I haven't.
If they drop it, would they drop it 1201 in Britain? In the UK? Is that when they drop it?
Because they would get it earlier, right? Yeah, so it would be 7. Wait, I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, that's I guess undisclosed yet of do they drop it earlier, or is it going to be midnight by British time?
I feel like when she's going to be playing it, there's going to be some kind of
not the single. I meant the full. Oh yeah. When she does.
No, I just mean on Thursday we should know all the info.
Yeah, they'll tell us more before then. We'll get another batch of times.
But we're behind, aren't we?
For British time, it would be 5 hours later. So
in London, they're gonna be it's noon for them, so that makes sense to launch something midday with a live stream. Everyone can be on their radio or in front of their TV or however you're gonna.
So we'll get back to that one and narrow that down, but it'll be there on November 1st, according to hopefully the Roman numerals anyway. So what do you say we get into the fun part of this now and really dive into what we are expecting, what the general public might be expecting from this album, and not even to sound snooty of what is our expectations, but what are also our fun predictions of the album. Like I said, we recorded a fucking predictions album December 2019 with Donald and it made more sense when I went back over that timeline, because that was right after the festivals, and he had said in a bunch of interviews, it's going to be out before Christmas. It's going to be out before Christmas. And then it just was getting really close. So we recorded like early December, and you could tell in our voices we were very optimistic still, but we were kind of like, how the fuck is this going to come out before Christmas?
Yeah.
And so it was funny listening back to that though, because we definitely had some questions that already got answered, you know, about the types of songs, because at that point we hadn't heard any of the live songs. So, you know, we were all predicting kind of a Blood Flowers Part 2. And, you know, and I kind of was leaning towards it'll be fine if it's boring even. Like I wanted a boring album. Yeah, I was like, it's good if it's, because it's going to be their last album probably. It's good if it's boring. I just hope it's catchy. And just based on those 6 songs that we've heard so far, I think it's well beyond that, because they are slow, passionate songs, but they're catchy too. They got that.
Yeah, slow doesn't mean boring. Like boring and slow aren't the same thing.
Right? Yeah. So exactly. Fucking got best case scenario based on these 5 songs, but yeah. I mean, just generally, I guess a big question on the top for you guys. The higher expectations now, because when we recorded that, we were kind of like the bar was pretty fucking low. We were kind of make another something that's better than 413, you know, like a better finale album. Where like it doesn't have to be better than Disintegration, it doesn't have to be the best thing they've ever done, but we just want a good closer, you know. And but now, what do you think? Are your expectations a little higher, especially having heard 6 of the 10, probably 10? We still don't have a confirmed.
Yeah, probably 10.
It's looking like 10 songs. So,
with the length of the songs, it might even be 9, but probably 10.
Yeah. So
like, I don't expect them going too much shorter than what they're doing with some of the things they're working with already.
Yeah.
I'm based on what we've heard so far, I'm gonna say that it's gonna probably be their best album since Wish.
Okay.
And I'm expecting just full emotional exhaustion at the end of the album. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of those where, you know, like a porno, not on the same level, but like just so like how you feel at the end of listening that from the beginning to the end, kind of like Pornography or Faith. I'd probably, based on some of the material that he's working with, or like what he's based it off of, Faith might be like the closest thing that we might be able to base it off of. So, and if it is, I'm fucking rock hard right now, guys.
Totally. I made that connection, but yeah, it does seem like already like that would be the closest comparison of just mood to the whole thing.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. So with all this stuff, we were sitting in the kitchen, and I was like, you know, looking stuff up, and you know, the emails, the this. I was showing Melissa the website. You got to put it, and she's like, can you be? She's like, because you love them so much, like, are you going to be able to be objective? And I'm like, babe, I'm clearly objective. Like, they're my favorite band in the whole world, and I'll still be like, the fucking top sucks. You know, and I'll still, you know, like I can be critical of this band, because even if they drop 2 more shit records for some reason, their discography still has way more amazing shit than bad shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, we've already heard like half of this album, and we loved the way it sounded live. So I don't, you know, I have pretty high expectations. And like you said, I do think this is going to be the best record since Wish. I think it's going to be very close to Disintegration as far as, you know, again, leaving me emotionally, you know, distraught afterwards. And I'm here for it.
Right.
You know, like, because I think some of the things that were really lacking in, you know, Self-Titled and 413 Dream was like, I don't know, like deeper shit, you know. Like I feel like, you know, I almost feel like it was like written to, exactly, like I'm like, do you mean your GPS isn't working, or you know, like Yeah, like I don't know. I think not that he needed things to happen in his life for him to write this, but I think when the world around you and the loved ones around you are falling and leaving you, and you're getting older, and you still realize how much impact you've had in music, like, like, because yeah, let's look at the timeline, like getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and like going out and doing tours, battling freaking Ticketmaster, like all this stuff. It's like it seems to be that there's passion back in his loins for fucking The Cure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and for the fan base, and all this stuff that happened in his life. I think for him, he needed to write about it, to let go. Because for me, writing is therapeutic.
Yeah.
Writing music is my therapy, and
and it further proves that the writing is what makes it, because it's like these songs are great written songs, the ones we've heard. They're and we saw that with even with the Church's song. In a sense, it's a cool song and he sings it great, because the performance is never a factor. He's gonna be able to fucking nail it. So it's all the writing, and that's what I love about hearing these live ones. It's like you're saying, is that there's something there that wasn't there on even going back to Bloodflowers to a certain degree. Even though I know that album means a lot to him, I feel like this is the batch that should have the effect that Bloodflowers was supposed to have, but I never quite felt like Bloodflowers nailed it, for me anyway. I've come to love that
Bloodflowers
album,
always kind of felt forced.
Yeah, and this...
Right, yeah.
And this seems like a natural... I don't know. I feel like dealing with turning 40 isn't the same on the same level as losing your loved ones.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Losing a bunch of loved ones, because then that equals too, like that makes you feel like, now am I on the doorstep of death?
Right.
Yeah, failing health and everything. Yep.
Yeah, is this going to be the last thing that I'm going to leave people that love my music?
Yeah.
I think he had a good hard look at life in the mirror, and I think we're going to hear it in this album, because we've already heard it in those songs. And we also saw the way that he was when he was performing them. I mean, you could just see it in his face, and even the rest of the band, like there was just like a different look to it all, and feel to it when those songs were being played. I mean, when I heard him start singing it on the little snippet, like you said, Chaz, I got goosebumps.
Right.
My whole fucking body. I got goosebumps. And I was like, I cannot wait to just put my headphones on, close my eyes, and listen to these songs and let them fucking wreck me emotionally.
Right.
I'm ready for it.
Totally.
Yeah. I think fans are gonna I mean, I already think there's fans out there that are already considering this their favorite album ever, just because that's just how some fans are. But I think that it's gonna be with social media today and the community that is present that wasn't really present back, then that's not as small as it was. It's more widespread that I think people are going to enjoy this and connect to this album unlike any other album they put out before, because people are going to express what X, Y, and Z meant to them in real time.
Well, I mean, think about how much loss this world has had since pre-COVID. I mean, everybody has felt it. 9/11 just passed, and for me being a New Yorker, it's like, every year when that comes across, like just the stories of people that lost people, and then so many more people around us died during COVID than even in 9/11.
Yeah.
And that's trickling, and now you've got wars everywhere, and you've got school gun violence, and
we're all old. We're there with him, even if we're not there.
And, I was just gonna say, I'm ready to tell you guys, put this down. Remember, make sure to tell Melissa, fucking play Alone at My Funeral.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's you're going to be able to click as much as we were able to morph fucking pictures of you into everybody that we've loved that's died or broken up with us and shit. I mean, imagine a song that's literally about his brother dying, you know?
Yeah.
And every time you hear that, it's going to totally be like, oh God, this song is going to mean this is going to destroy me when it comes my time or somebody else that I care about, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, we're kind of there if we're just a little further behind him age-wise, but none of us are safe, you know? So
the way my knee is, man, I'm feeling just up there with him, man.
Totally, yeah.
I'm feeling it, bro.
Still hurting.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But,
not your fault. Don't feel bad about it.
I feel bad. But taking on crazy hiking expeditions and
no, it's all right.
But so yeah, in a weird degree, I guess the expectations are higher having heard those songs, but I feel a little more reassured that I know that the songs are good, you know? So it's like, like we're saying,
because the
6 of the 10 songs are fucking bangers, so they can do whatever the fuck on the other 4 ones.
It's already going to be better than 413 Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you know how many times I've seen some of my favorite bands and they're like, this is the new song, and they play it, and I'm like, well, it's time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And like with this, I was like, okay, I'm in, like, it's, you know, I'm just like, yeah, like the only time I left is because we were almost dying of thirst and I had to go to the bathroom and get a drink so all 3 of us could make it through the concert.
4th time seeing them in 4 days too, you know?
Yeah. So, but like I was hooked on every single song.
Yeah.
Where other bands wouldn't have had my attention as much.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, there's like you said, there's plenty of times when
I've heard new songs by them playing live, and I'm just like, meh.
Yeah. Alt end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I was just like, ugh, what is this?
Hungry Ghost. Cool. Yeah. It's not bad.
So, like,
it's just
I've been there and I've been excited to hear new songs, but like this was just like something different.
Yeah.
Like,
so this is
like something raw. And like
cool.
that's why I kind of feel like it's more compatible to like Faith.
Yeah.
Than like anything from what we heard right now, but like more compatible with Faith than anything.
Yeah. So yeah, the main word becomes don't fuck up those songs, which I think they're smart enough where they won't do production wise. I don't think there's going to be any Windy Time kind of shift where it's like now it's a funk song. You know, I think these are very set.
I think everything that we heard live is going to be what is on that album.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get any saxophone solos.
Yeah.
No. I think they're in. Yeah, I think they're in that professional. Like we talked about Reeves, how he's like, and how Jason are kind of like machines up there.
Yeah.
I think that's going to transfer over to recording. And I think just about everything that we heard live, we're going to get on a CD.
Yeah.
Or CD. What the fuck am I saying? We're going to get in the music.
I'm buying that CD. Don't worry.
And yeah, you know, and that's the thing too. Like it's funny that you say that because I feel like this record is also going to be a record that when we're having our discussions about, you know, who's played what and throughout history, like Jason has a huge chance here to fucking make his drumming statement on a fucking statement record.
Yeah.
You know, like,
okay. Yeah, let's touch on the players here. Cause leading off with Jason, it's funny listening to those live ones and, you know, we all got a little playlist of and shit and hearing those beats. It's very similar to my rants that I just did in the Boris profile where you hear that end song beat, like you fucking know it. It's like a catchy guitar riff kind of drum beat. And like all these are like really good beats and kind of touch on that Disintegration style, you know, and a lot of it is that way where it's like I said, it's not boring, slow songs. They're all catchy, you know, they have those old style hooks, those guitar lifts, you know, that's like a Disintegration kind of thing. It's fucking 3 notes or whatever, but it's perfect. And all these little subtle layers and shit going through. And one of the things in the last episode with Reeves, we didn't know at that point, and he was the big kind of wild card. We're like, well, what the fuck is Reeves going to bring to this? We know he's awesome. He sounds great at the live shows where he plays all the old songs great, but what is he going to bring to new Cure songs was the big question. And now we have 6 answers out of 10, and I'm fucking psyched for what he brings to it, especially hearing like
I mean, this is this lineup's time to really fucking shine. And I can't wait for it.
And then Perry gets other instruments.
Perry. He's an interesting factor because we didn't even know. Technically, he could have played on a lot. He could have played on nothing. He's a tough one too, because even if he plays on it as much as he played on anything on Wish, you don't really know. He doesn't have that big Portal or Reeves style when you hear he's very similar.
When you're like, oh, that's him.
His kind of claim to fame was always that he's very similar to Robert's style. So I mean, he could just be playing something that Robert showed him or in the style of Robert. We'll never know it. I'm pretty sure Robert will just credit him anyway because he's in the band and he's going to be on there, but who knows what he's going to be playing on it. But I hope he gets
I would laugh really hard if it said other instruments.
Other instruments. Exactly.
Well, he's definitely more deserving of the other instruments slide. I think if he is just coming along for the ride.
He literally all he did was hit a triangle.
Seriously.
Bring him on.
And he was like, mic drop.
I feel like it's just that much better of a record by having his name in the credits. Why not? He didn't even have to play anything on it. I'm totally fine with that. But it'll be interesting to see. And I hope he got to play some cool licks on occasional song here or there. You know, there was definitely enough time where they could have sent him the file. It's like, just strum an acoustic on this one or something. I'd be like, cool. But so pretty rad. Let's see. You know, of course, Simon. No question with him and Robert. They're nothing.
The only question I have for this album is just Reeves. Like,
and I think
that's the only question I have.
And I guess the only fear would be that I hope because he was so comfortable with all those parts by the end of the touring that, man, I hope he wasn't playing like a safe version when they recorded this back in fucking 2018 or whatever. But there was one update on where he said when we thought the album should have been done, I think around 2020 or something, where he said they were flying Reeves back over to do some solos.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I think he did a lot. I think he laid a lot of his tracks here. And you know, as much as that, yes, that can be done. It's harder to in the moment say, "Hey, try playing that an octave higher," or you know, like. So, I do think that is one of the things that got redid probably in the Witching Hour
because he had a quote.
Tour.
Robert had a quote.
Or even in the preparation for the tour, because you know I'm sure he went over to practice with them long enough before that the tour started to be able to go in and kind of change some things and do some shit. But
and he's clearly so good that even if he recorded fucking 3 solos, they're all probably flawless. It's just a matter of picking which one was really
which take you want to
so
choose. But one of my favorite things throughout this thing the whole week has been reading the comments on Instagram posts from Simon. People are like, you guys are teasing a new record and you're just posting pictures of your fucking bike. Like,
oh, really?
Like go to his Instagram. It's pretty damn funny. I think the photo he posted yesterday or whatever, just his bike leaning against the wall and like, you know, some poetic stuff. And people are like, yeah, but what's going on with the record, dude? Like, why are you on your bike?
How dare you have a personal life?
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he's probably like, dude, I recorded those parts like fucking 6 years ago. You know, like
he's like, I've quit the band once since I finished doing
quit and come back, because it is funny when you think, especially like the drums and bass. There is a pretty good chance that bulk of the initial recording did happen like late 2018, early 2019. So him and Jason could have easily have been like kind of fucking done since then, you know. So they've just been hanging out the whole fucking time going like, Jesus, let's drop this album already.
I also feel like we will never get any, I mean, not that we ever do, but we will never get any answers from Robert on this. Like,
Simon.
when was it recorded? When did you finish it? What did you change? Why did it take so long?
He probably didn't remember it. This fucking point.
I don't know if we get an honest answer.
He's like, he'll just be like, look for some billboards, like, I don't know. Like,
it's happening now. Live in the moment. So another aspect of the old episode we did, and I've seen people kind of blowing up social media with this, especially people that hadn't been paying attention for this whole fucking 6 years of waiting. They're like, this kind of feels like it's going to be the last Cure album. And that's kind of come back around. And we were focusing on it in the sense, not so much as like, oh, wow, this is the end. But just logistically, I mean, especially if it's taken this fucking long to make one, whatever. If we do get another Cure album after this, it would be just whatever they've recorded at the same time as this. I think, they're not. But
this is I'm considering this is it.
Yeah, and it's a perfect
and I'm fine
finale.
With that.
That's why I'm almost afraid that they would put out like a popish album pretty soon after this because it would fuck up the nice.
No,
you know what I mean?
Please don't.
It's like the
like
death
the
rattle, and then you go back in and have one more awkward conversation with the dying person. But more importantly, we were really concerned with the final track of it. Going, well, what the fuck is going to be the final song? Because I was griping about how It's Over is an okay song, but it's not like the last Cure song we're going to get on an album, like the closure should have been for 413, but it wasn't, so we were really concerned because we hadn't heard End Song, of course. And now I feel like our answers were it's been kind of answered, and it was great because you had Chaz had a little rant about like what I want out of a finale Cure song. And you said, your ideal finale is a song that would gradually build up with a great hook and just a wall of sound. I'm like, that's pretty much fucking End Song, It's like, I think we got exactly what we were hoping for, like a big fucking epic song where he's not screaming. That was the thing that we were like, And if you listen to End Song, it's perfectly one that he could have done in the style of Self-Titled, but he's not screaming, and I love it because it works so much better because it's like, because he's saying like nothing at the end, but he's not like screaming it, or it could have been like,
doesn't need to.
But pretty cool. So, and at this point, I guess now we happy with End Song being if this does turn out to be the final Cure song ever.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't really get me.
No, End Song is the end song. That's it.
Exactly.
I'm fine with that.
So I think the whole album in general will be a better closing and closure of the Cure, and I'm totally fine with that. It would be sad, of course, but everything comes to an end, and they'll still drag it out with the live shows forever. That it won't be. I'd be really shocked if at this November 1st big announcement is like, and we're doing a farewell tour or something, but
I don't think that's going to happen, but I also think that they're going to announce, like, I don't know if they're going to announce a tour right away, but pretty sure there's something coming with a new album. So
and like we were texting the other day, it's actually kind of reassuring that this is such a doom and gloom album, in the sense that normally I would think, because they did the big tour for the album, that kind of the natural way of still playing a few more shows after the album comes out would be to do the festivals, which I still could do. They just would open it with Alone and then play like the festival kind of set list. But I don't know. I kind of feel like we might be able to luck out and be able to dodge festivals, because you can't really promote this album by playing fun festivals, It's like, hello, Bonnaroo. We're going to play 70 minutes of the saddest shit you've ever heard, So that was kind of the whole point of why they didn't play them in 2019. They said that they didn't want to,
bum out the crowd.
So that would be cool. So I guess a few of the other just expectations or predictions. Track listing, like we said, we think we're at 10 tracks. There's been that leak that's gone out forever where we had the other 4 songs even, which seems pretty valid still. Feather in the Waves, Moon Song, what's the other one? No Care, and Vanishing Song. I think it was called. Vanishing Song. So
I don't believe anything.
I mean... it almost seemed just too obvious to not be true though back then, or it was just like, all right, why would somebody just make up 4 fucking random gears? A lot of this, I don't get the motive of the people that are throwing wrenches. I'm like, why the fuck would you just make like a fake billboard picture too? That's been happening, or like, why would you? I get the fun of like, added Luke's face to the rock, but that was pretty obvious that it was just, a fake. But some people are just like, this is the billboard in my town in fucking Missouri.
People are posting AI articles, which are just like trying to
oh my god, those things are driving me insane.
They're not announcing tour dates yet, and it says it on there like they're announcing new album and tour dates.
Keep sharing those. It's like it's such like a nothing clickbait thing. I think we were bitching about that last time. I keep seeing them like more and more each time I open it. I'm like, no. So track listing, nothing too big, and like I said, having 6 songs, like we were saying earlier, it's a good chunk of it. If it is 10 songs, that's more than half of it that we already know we like. So like Antonio said, that already puts it above 413 and definitely self-titled for me.
Speaking of which, I went to that record, a vinyl record show. And there was a guy that had self-titled on vinyl. And he wanted like $200 for it.
Oh no.
And I was like, I literally turned to my buddy Anthony and I was like, yeah, good luck finding someone that likes that record enough to spend $200 on it. And I just fucking walked away from his booth. I was like,
at that point, it's about checking the box off. I think it's
basically
exactly. That's what I said. I was like, some completist eventually is going to be like all right, well, I've got to bite the bullet. It's the only one I don't have.
Totally. The format, there was a leaked that kind of reeked of bullshit. Did you guys see that of the formats that it's going to come out? The Mexico.
It didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. So, but on that topic, obviously a record, a CD. On that they had like a 2 LP version, so I don't know what the fuck the second, unless you just stretched it out more.
That's why I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, so I don't see them having a ton of B-sides for these, even if it took them this long to get this last.
And it's like cassette too.
Is that what the MCA? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It must be some kind of cassette, which would be awesome, but not awesome because
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, at this point, I'd have to just fucking buy it. But I'm like, but buy it now before it's like $400 next month. But so I'm excited for a CD. I don't know. Maybe we'll come with some kind of like, I think live shit would be the biggest that they would stack. Any like deluxe or bonus versions would have.
You get a CD-ROM, you put it in your computer, and you get to go to the website.
Interactive.
You get to spin the rock anytime you want, the little space rock. Great. And I see the 2 bonus tracks that we get on anything are just going to be those 2 songs from the fucking charity 12-inch that we just bought, which proposes that question that we've all kind of forgot about. Does this totally overshadow that so much that that doesn't even matter now?
I hadn't even thought about it since.
I forgot that I even purchased it, and I don't even know when I'm going to get it. I forgot.
So that was slightly a dirty move, because remember, I think at least 75% of us bought that being like, well, this might be the only fucking versions of these songs we're getting, so let's buy it. And now,
that's how we got you for charity.
So at least it's a charity. So at the same time, it's gonna be a little tough because I'm not gonna binge that the way I was initially planning to, and just be like, cool, it'll satisfy my shakes a little bit for a few more weeks until November. But all right, what about artwork? You think the space rock is gonna be the cover, or just
I hope not
prominent thing? What are we thinking?
It's probably gonna be the cover.
Yeah, I hope not.
But I'm used to not great covers, so I'm like,
I mean, it could be like a wish bird, the high thing where it's like a prominent image, but not necessarily the like. It
could just be mostly black, like they're like the postcard kind of thing.
I still wish that the main tour shirt would be the cover. I thought that was great. It had like the planet with some kind of little glitchy shit all over it. That was pretty cool, even with the new font over that. But
maybe so.
Yeah, so Space Rock is cool, but I don't know if it's enough to carry the whole.
No, I hope not. I hope not. Yeah.
Now, there was also some speculation, too, that maybe it was going to come out on like Record Store Day, Black Friday, because Record Store Day Black Friday had pulled the list off the website. So I'm looking right now, and I still don't see a list of what the records are gonna be.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that.
they'll put out the bonus, whatever.
I'm like,
the
please don't make
yeah.
me get up early and go to the fucking record store.
That'll be the picture disc version or something, probably.
The 413.
Yeah. Like, oh, great. There goes Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the self-titled album with remixes.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the space rock and the art we have seen, and there is a cover of sorts for Alone already, which is just like another rock with the letters kind of spaced out the same way.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nothing totally.
But all I keep thinking is like, I want to rock.
Yeah.
I want to cure rock.
It doesn't feel very parched art though, by any means. Do you
No,
think?
it doesn't.
I feel like this is like, it's kind of cool that it's broke away from traditional Cure style, I think, but since it has been 16 years, it's nice it's something a little more modern looking, but I don't know. It doesn't really kind of feel, other than the font kind of looks Cure-ish, but I don't know. I'm kind of not picturing a traditional, very Cure looking record with that. So
yeah, I don't think.
I
don't think parts art is involved with it. So I think.
But how do we feel about the new logo?
Yeah,
it's good.
That too. Cool.
It's better than the last couple they've come up with.
Yeah.
So,
it's very subtle, but nice.
Yeah, it's just curious. You know, it's funny because I thought I was like, I kind of assumed that the font was just going to be the same as the tour font.
Yeah, with the kind of bubbly. And I like that a lot, but that did get a lot of use, with the tour was pretty sensitive
with a million different posters per city.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not totally heartbroken that they moved on with that. And it's still cool, at least. If anything, it was a little like underwhelming at first, but the more you look at it, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's cool. I'd wear that. Their label is kind of interesting because we kind of assume, Universal something. But not on Geffen. The emails all say Polydor Universal, which is kind of interesting because that was what Fiction was connected to back. So they've almost gone kind of back to the bigger version of Fiction. Would be kind of cool because I couldn't see them totally sticking with Geffen after that whole fucking debacle with 413 because that almost seemed to sour him on recording it all for the 16 years. So I'm glad that it wasn't connected and would explain at least a nice effort with this promotion here. This is cool that a label's actually giving a fuck enough to do this with the billboards and the sneaky postcards and the whatever the fuck, so I mean, this has all got to be technically connected through label PR stuff, so that's cool. That
you would hope so, unless they're paying out of pocket for it.
Yeah, which could be. Robert's just fucking cashing out at this point. He's like buying billboard space and shit, which maybe, but at the same time, it's smart and will be interesting to see. Hopefully, this version of Universal, even though it's all the same shit, I guess. But cool that they're backing him up and. At one point, he did say there's no label involvement during this was in July of 2019. He said no label involvement. It's just us doing it on our own. No one is pulling the strings this time. He said, but maybe that was before he signed a new deal. So. What do you think the media reception then and fan reception will be as far as the album comes out? Is this going to pop up on the UK charts, you think, for a minute? And then quickly disappear like a lot of stuff does, or I think possibility over there.
Probably, maybe a little bit, but I don't really see it making too many waves.
Yeah,
I think, there's so many things are dominating the pop charts now more than any actual pop music. So,
but I think it'll be a cool anomaly in the sense of it's gonna sell a fucking ton. I feel
it'll sell
there. And this is helping. I think they would have fucking sold a lot more if they had put it out right after the tour. But at the same time, I think everyone that cared then has gotten a cool jump start from this space rock business.
Very true.
So it's smart. It's easing them back into it. And
I mean, as long as Oasis doesn't drop something in November.
So yeah, and on the personal side, as we start to wind down, I guess how are you gonna buy it then if we don't have a pre-order? You guys got your
Oh,
favorite record shop you could just show up at, and you're all good to go. Oh, we
wait a
lose
minute, we're
Chaz.
missing someone. Yeah, we lost Chaz.
I saw your
I just
rectangle got real big, and then he's like, "I'm done with this bullshit." so, so yeah, you got your faithful record shop you can count on if there isn't a pre-order.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I definitely have a faithful record shop guy, and I also have a friend that used to own a record store that now, just kind of does it online or at record fairs. But I probably will also go the route of buying it on CD as well.
Okay.
Like if they do order a package of this one, I'm probably gonna get at whatever the big package is, the vinyl, the CD. Even if you want to give me the cassette, I'll take it.
You're going all in. I think I probably would.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go all in because again, this is the first one that's come out. Again, like we said, in like 16 years.
Yeah, I'm not huge.
I think over the last 16 years, my love and passion for this band has grown exponentially. And it's something that I share with my kids now.
Yeah.
Like Elvis and I have these conversations all the time. Like the way that I look at it is, he fought Ticketmaster for us.
Right.
And I know they're not making shit off the streams, and I know they probably don't need my money. But when that shit comes out, I will gladly give you my money for all the physicalness.
Yeah.
Unless they also do announce a tour, and then I'm like, all right, shit, I'm just gonna order the vinyl because I know I'm about to buy like tickets for multiple shows.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
yeah, we'll see how the bomb drops.
yeah,
but at the same
exactly.
time,
I'm like,
but yeah, I think I'm all in too, as far as even just grab a cassette. I think the only thing I wouldn't, when people got carried away with the speculated format list, it was like somebody's like, oh, they might be doing like a bonus disc with one package that's Atmos or something, like the different whatever, like the 4K disc, or if it's some variation that's just super nerd quality that I don't give a fuck, I'll be like, whatever, I'll be fine with a normal CD and a record and a tape and a and a Blu-ray or whatever the fuck. But so even if it just has like a few little bonus things, why not?
If I'm being honest, I also would not hate if this record also came out with some form of Blu-ray with some live stuff from the Songs of the Last World tour.
It would be cool, I think.
Because I think they played such a great array of songs on that tour, and they sounded phenomenal, and they hit everywhere, that if you gave me that, I would jump on it.
Yeah.
I think I'd be all about it.
So yeah, we did lose Chaz here. He said he kicked the wire of his plug, and his computer's real slow to restart. So we don't know if we're gonna get him back at this point. I told him just feel free to join in, or we'll. But the next question he's already said, I wanted to ask you: have you settled on a way you're gonna listen to it? Say, well, I guess first off, are you gonna wait for the tangible, or are you gonna stream it when it comes out? Like, say it does pop up at 12:01.
Yeah, if it pops up at 12:01, I'm streaming the fucking shit out of it. I mean, I'm not gonna wait for
climbing on the roof or anything. You doing anything exceptional, or just a nice, comfortable house listen?
Well, it depends, because I've already thought about it in my head, and I wanted to maybe do some event based on it. But if it's mostly everyone's going to be having Halloween stuff going on that night, where even if I'm like it's the after party and at midnight stay around to listen to it, and blast it at one of the music venues or bars that I work with PBR.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about doing that. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll do something then November 1st.
Yeah.
But then I remember November 1st.
Got an event.
But I was like, all right, so I can't do that. So I'm like, maybe November 2nd, maybe just that weekend I'll celebrate it. And I want to throw some kind of event in either New York City, Brooklyn, or Long Island around it. So if we've got listeners in New York and you guys would be down to do that, message us on social media or hit me up on Instagram, personally. And I'd love to hear anyone's feedback on that. If you're down to do it, if we want to do some kind of like, meet up and play it, together those first couple days that it's out, like I'm down.
Well, Chaz said he's gonna definitely maybe smoke a little something and sit on the trampoline and stare up at the stars.
Right,
So that was the plan.
Exactly.
I'm thinking I'll probably just have whatever drink that I was probably already drinking and blast it in some earphones on the headphones on the front porch would be nice. But so I'll give it that initial stream at 12:01 if that happens. 5 in the morning might be a little different, but I'll probably still
exactly.
And then give the tangible.
At that point, I'll
listen.
probably wait till I wake up.
Yeah.
Anyway, and listen to it
doesn't
because
really matter at that point. So
at that point, because then what'll happen is the whole rest of the day that I'm listening to it, I'm just gonna be like,
It's, especially if you're doing an event in the evening of November 1st or something. So man, I don't want to jinx it, so I won't disclose any info, but I am trying to feel out a couple things here too in Asheville. That would be cool if it happens. So I'll definitely let everybody know, even though I know there's not a lot of listeners in the Asheville area, but we might be able to pull off a listening party somewhere here. So it's in the works, and definitely we'll have updates by the end. Is that a good Robert answer? It definitely happened by November 1st. So you'll know if it's for real, but that would be great if somehow I can pull that off. And but I'll definitely just blast it for myself as soon as possible. So hope you guys are excited too, and let us know your thoughts on Alone or any of this PR business building up. And hope you all got your black postcards out there. I know I did. I still check, like a little fool every day. I open that
every
mailbox.
time my dogs bark that the mailman is here, I run.
So sad.
And I open it up.
I always say to Henson, well, I'm going to walk down to the mailbox now and not get my black postcard. So, we'll see. But, yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with me. And on behalf of Chaz, I guess we could say thank you. Don't unplug your computers with your feet, good people. And looking forward to this album, November 1st. Hallelujah. It's finally fucking happening. All right, man. Thanks. And everyone out there, talk hard.
Later.
This is the end of every song we sing.
Hello, guys. We are back for the epilogue of this episode. This was way too epic to not include in this and have to wait another 2 weeks. So, as promised, we are fresh into the morning of the release of Alone, and it all went pretty smoothly. I guess just on the top, I didn't stay up till, I think it was going to be 4:30 when that radio show was airing, and then somewhere in that she was gonna play the Cure song. So
not knowing, it was like
and I didn't want to be fucking around with some BBC app at like 5 in the morning, so I'll backtrack and find the whatever recording at some point. But
I had a tough time sleeping last night. Like I woke up at like 4 or 5 different times and like checked my phone. And I was just like, is it up yet? Pre-order? Anything? Nothing? No email? Nothing?
I woke up around 4:30 and I just looked at it just to see if it popped up right when the radio show started or anything like that. But they put those times on there. I figured that's what it was. And sure enough.
And then Gavin and I were both like watching the Sarlacc Digest live, their podcast. But at midnight, I was texting Gavin on the side. I'm like, I'm just checking Spotify in case they messed up. And then they just went and they just went by the day, like
It was definitely worth a shot, but no luck. And we had to do the super early morning, so I had set my alarm anyway because it was a sleeping day because of the hurricane. Henson's off of school, so I was like, initially planning I was going to be up anyway and just blast it and wake everybody up in the house and be like, oh, we got to get up.
Bagging pots and pans.
Yeah, I figured I wouldn't torture everybody today since it was a freebie sleeping day. So I just rolled over 6:59 and sure enough, it popped up at 7 o'clock right on the dot there and put my little AirPods in and which was actually kind of old man nice to just have my first listen like still laying in bed, and it was all dark in the room still, and I just like, Casey rolled over like mid second playthrough of the song. I was like, don't you need to wake up to hear that? I'm like, I am listening to it. She's like, great, okay. I went back to sleep. And, so yeah, you guys, did you make it out of bed for the listen, or how did it go?
Well, you kind of woke me up with the text. I had gone back to sleep at like no, it's all right, because my wife got up with the kids and I was like, you need me to get up to help you? She was like, no. So I was like, I went back to sleep and then got your text and I was just like, all right, here we go. And then like I had to go downstairs and let the dogs out, and then I rolled a joint and then went outside and put it on and listened to it. So nice. I got out of bed. So what about you, Antonio?
Yeah, so Melissa did an overnight at work last night, so she didn't get home till like 4 something. So I woke up at like 5:15, and old man bladder had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, all right, it's not there still, like I know. And then I was like, I'm not gonna download that app. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna lay down. Naturally, I usually never sleep past like 8:30 anyway. And then I was like, around like 9 something, I had gotten like an alert from a work email, and then I rolled over and I was like, all right, let me get up. I had to do some work stuff, so I snuck downstairs like really quiet because Melissa's still sleeping, let the dogs out, put on my noise cancellation headphones, and then just like was like, am I ready? And I hit play. And like while I was making my coffee, and I was like, I'm gonna fight back the tears. But I knew I had to, like, also my good headphones were downstairs, and I'm like, I don't want my first listen to be in my AirPods. Like,
I was a little torn on that too.
I was like, I went and got the noise canceling headphones. The dogs are barking. I'm like, I can't hear you.
Awesome.
I've got Simon's beautiful bass pounding my ears.
Yeah. So yeah, just straight on the top, everybody. Thumbs up across the board, or do we have any garbage? Complete garbage.
I wish I had more hands so I could give this song 4 thumbs ups.
It's pretty damn perfect, I think. Right from the snippet, we got our hopes up, but it delivered. I think perfect. What you could hope for as far as loving the live version for this long, and those fears that we talked about going into being expecting something from what we heard live and got so used to that. I mean, this is just the glossed up extra little bit textures, but I mean, really, they didn't overdo it by adding in a whole extra sequence thing. Like we were texting back and forth, just cool little extra atmosphere stuff in there. And definitely a great mix where nothing seemed odd. And,
like even like towards the end there, like I feel like there was a little bit of strings that came in like just on one ear, like very faint, and so it didn't sound too overproduced. It's like they're there, but it sits in the background, So because you don't really hear, you can duplicate those on the keys, but it was just coming in the one ear, and I was like, oh my god, yeah.
It felt very similar to, there weren't like tons of parts that they had to leave out live or anything like that.
And in true fashion, we're talking 3 minutes and 21 or 22 seconds before there's vocals. It's almost right half the time in the song, and I'm like, yep, long intros.
That initial 10 seconds or so is so fucking powerful. It's this like really wall of fucking sound that just like comes in. It's just like, hey,
I'm here.
we're back. Like listen to this, and it just grabs your fucking attention right away. And then just everybody is on top of their game. It's very recording sound wise. It's very Disintegration-esque, where you can make out the instruments where you're just like, I can vibe with that bass. Like I can single out Simon's bass and just kind of vibe with that, or I can just vibe with the synths, or Reeves' guitar work is solid on this. Everybody's on their game, and I this is their best song since Burn, I think. I can't really think of between those albums. I think my favorite song is probably Underneath the Stars, but like this is even better.
Yeah.
It gives me kind of the same feelings I get when I listen to
absolutely.
that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It definitely is Disintegration reminiscent, but we have a little bit of that, what he was doing when he was writing Underneath the Stars, which is
Shoegazy
also
kind of stuff.
which is also a song we've said we feel like could fit that album, Disintegration.
But even Underneath the Stars is so like mood heavy. I feel like this almost even passes it in the sense that like the lyrics are so powerful too. Where it's not like like this one, it's like bam, great line after line.
The drums sound freaking phenomenal. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I mean, it is an eargasm. Like,
one thing is that the bass. No, the one thing it's not. It's not gonna be pulling a bunch of dog shit along with it. Like from what we've heard of the rest of the like, apparently there's only gonna be 8 tracks.
Yes, that's the other thing.
We've already heard what, 6 of them.
Yeah, assuming they don't scratch one of those now. I mean, it seems like maybe something could have. I mean, I'm assuming they wouldn't have. Maybe like Another Happy Birthday would be the one if they did. But if it's, but I think there might only be 2 songs. I would like to think, and we'll get into some of the versions, the variations that you can buy. Maybe those 2 extra songs will be floating around on something that's one of the deluxe, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But
or like come out on a record store day, 7-inch or something.
Yeah, some kind of B-side that for the next single or something. But yeah, that was kind of a letdown to see on there. I was like, oh no, only 8 songs. But
it's still going to be like, it's got to be over an hour worth of music though. And with 8 songs, like just had the length from the live shows and everything.
Right. Yeah, end song in itself is gonna be like
I mean this song's like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's almost 7. So Simon's bass, because you were about to go into that, and is it the best part of this song, guys? I don't think it is, but I think it's up there.
Yeah, it's up. I think I just love it because it matched what we got so used to hearing with the live version. So cool. It was so like awesome. And that would have sucked a little bit if it was just like a normal thumpy kind of bass that didn't have that kind of weird crisp but distorted sound to it that he plays live, and it really cuts through live. So I was a little worried that it was just going to be like kind of a standard bass sounding, So.
It's kind of his signature sound that's now been, I feel like, perfected. And they're at the point where I don't think they're never going to let a producer or an engineer or a label ever steer them away from what their vision is at this point in their careers. I think that was a one-time shot with Self-Titled, and I feel like
when Ross Robinson was dialing in that Simon bass sound.
Yeah, because even that I can the sound off that record I can get myself with a Sansamp pedal and my bass, and enough tweaking. But this is like another level. Like it's just, this is a little, like I said, it's his sound he's always had, just like They're Always Them, but in different variations. But this is like the perfected, mature, like holy shit version of that. Like I mean, I'm from a sound quality standpoint, we might be on the cusp of their best sounding sonic record ever, just based on this one single. Because I mean, it's all, if it was mastered together and took this long, I mean, shit, what a sonic wave of, it could be the best part of the song, but also his vocals are so beautifully haunting. The last line in the song, like, oh my God, it's just,
when he cuts into Where Did It Go? Like that like shot.
Like, and it's not like he's yelling it, but I feel like it's like loud and gigantic.
My favorite part of the song is, and I texted Gavin. I might have texted in the group, was about that, like almost like seagull kind of sound, and like I don't know what
Yeah.
it is because I'm not a musician, and like it might be synth or it might be
Yeah, it's a
guitar.
little
So,
hard to
but like
pinpoint. On the last listen, the last of like the 500 I've already.
yeah,
It's funny.
nice.
I was getting almost like a guitar kind of scratchy with the effects going.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's more of a swirling guitar because there is like a delay piano kind of thing going in there too that isn't the main piano
Yeah.
riff. So there's a lot of just cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which is cool though too because they're not overdoing it. It's not like not doing that live. You're like, where's that cool sound?
Yeah.
You know, but it is just a little something extra, which I agree was really just fills it out perfectly.
Yeah.
A couple of little things like that too. I love the harmonies, the vocal harmonies, because we didn't get that live. And then when that kicked in
you're right.
on the
That's
Birds
true.
part, I was just like, oh shit, you know, because it's so great at that. You know, you always kind of forget that how many of those classic Cure songs have great little harmony parts that make, you know, certain lines jump out, you know, because they don't even attempt it live, you know. So it's like, what the hell? That's awesome. So yeah, that was a cool bonus.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like the piano part. What's that?
When that sound I was talking about, like it just it feels like like the sea like the affinity Robert has for the ocean or the sea.
Yeah.
Like that, like it immediately thought of seagulls, and like I was just like picturing myself by the ocean, and like just listening to this, and like it would be like absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what it was, but like it felt like it was calling me to the sea.
Yeah.
And I'm just like
Yeah.
oh man, this is amazing. So
Totally. Yeah. And I guess just visually, it's so burned into my head of just like seeing the world spinning slowly away.
Yeah.
Now,
my question is, here's my question, just because everyone's kind of listening to it on a different streaming platform. I know I'm the Spotify guy of the group. Now, when you're listening to it on Apple Music, are you guys seeing the lyrics? Because I was a little bummed that the lyrics weren't there on Spotify.
I didn't try it. There's a visual video.
Yeah. I have the visual video in the
watched
background, but
that.
usually then in Spotify below it has the lyrics moving, and you can click it, move it up, and read along the lyrics.
Actually, it doesn't. No,
It doesn't. Okay. I mean, I figured if it wasn't on one, it wasn't on the other. But I mean, that might be a thing that they're doing for the album. Like maybe the album, when it gets released, will have all the lyrics typed out.
That's strange, but yeah.
Yeah,
because not everybody does it, but like being a fucking music nerd, I love it. Because
yeah,
I was happy. That was like my second listen through was the visual, because I like, you know, the old school way of when I was a kid, I'd read the liner notes with it, but I didn't do that on the first listen. But the second one, I was like, oh, cool, you know. So I wasn't really watching the spinning rock, but you could read the lyrics, which was cool because there were a couple lines. I was like, oh, that's what he's saying there, and you know, so great lyrics though. I love it. You know, it's like. Totally.
It's beautiful because
it sounds great for the most part. Yeah, I love that they kept it so true, like we were hoping, to the live version, because that was near perfect as is, you know. So,
well, I feel like due to the intro and how good the song is and everything, I do feel like this could be the leadoff song. Like, because I don't think we know that.
I think it is.
On
the track listing for the album.
There is a track listing?
Yeah. Well, it just has Alone as the first track, and everything else is blank underneath
track
it.
2, track 3. Yeah, which is weird. I don't know if I've ever seen an advanced one like that, or usually it has the titles and they're just not highlighted, you know, if you can't access them yet. But
maybe they'll do a song like each week until the album is released.
At this point,
is that 8 weeks?
It's only 8 songs, you know. Don't spoil anymore, you know. It's
I don't think
we did get a snippet. Did you listen to the end song snippet?
I didn't
with the pre-order.
Not yet.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna, because I was gonna like, but then I went like gave in and was like, fuck it. It's no vocals. It's just part of the rocking out part, and it sounds fucking great. Again, it sounds just like the live version, but a cool, nice, clean tone. So so I think that'll be another. And then there's that little quote there of Robert on one of the fucking links, which is weird how they're doing all this too. It was like 3 different emails that kind of it seems like all the little information was kind of convoluted. But I found that little quote where he said, if you have the beginning and the last song, you feel like you've written half the album or something like that, paraphrasing. But he was saying how important the first and last song on each album is, and I think that's why they put it in there, because Alone, you know, obviously the first, and then put a snippet for end song. But So yeah, pretty wild, and which is funny too, because he probably did have those 2 songs recorded first. Like the album's done. It's like, no, you need the whole middle, dude. That's where the last 4 years went. But
I will say the bread is one of the most important parts of the sandwich. So.
True, yeah. So
if you don't have good bread, you're not having a good sandwich. So I get his point.
And we've done specific episodes on how great their openings and closings are.
Yeah,
so it's definitely something to that in Cure.
Gav, did you hear there's a video in the WhatsApp of Robert talking.
Like
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, it's like him just going and people talking around him. He's like, it's a rap.
Like,
and then he's like, I'm Robert from The Cure. And that's about it.
I'm
like what the hell?
Yeah.
So it's good to see him. It's like proof of life, or something. He looks good. He looks healthy.
Maybe they're weekend at Bernieing him. Like, I hope not.
He's all AI or some shit. It's like his hands look weird. Wait a minute. But yeah, so a couple little things too before we go on and on for a whole nother episode here. But like we said, 8 songs on the album was the only real bummer. They put the credits on the, maybe it's just the song credits. So I don't know, but the only thing I really noticed with the credits there that they posted in the email was that Perry was not in there answering our questions from earlier this in there. So
right, yeah.
Listed on it. So maybe it's something where it'll be a specific song that he played on since he kind of came to the party later. But but yeah, either way. Let's see. Then we got to the pre-order of the album, I guess.
Well,
that answers
one second. We had the artwork.
Okay,
artwork. Who the artwork is done by.
Andy Vella's involved. Yeah, so he was involved. And I guess since our recording of the last episode, we had speculated it would be the Space Rock. And then I think on Tuesday after we recorded, it got leaked. But that was only like 90% confirmed because the band wasn't the one that posted it. But it seemed pretty legit and the cover looked legit. So it did turn out to be that. It's full on Space Rock with the Cure written on it. And then, the artwork wise looks cool. Cool enough. Like I said, I think they could have gone a couple different ways with it, but it'll work. But cool that Andy Vella is involved with it. So even if it isn't full on parched art there, it's always good.
And Robert put it together and I guess designed it. And
I guess the other credits, Paul Corkett, again, like we had confirmed, he is co-producing it all.
Okay.
And they did. Yeah. And since doing that little Patreon one, when they initially recorded at Rockfield Studio in Wales, I wasn't quite sure if that hung in there because that was like the 2018 sessions, I think, when they went in there for like 3 weeks. So if they're kind of crediting that as the main recording spot, then I guess it does kind of confirm that they, a lot of it at least was recorded all the way fucking back in 2018, So pretty interesting.
And then, well, as far as credits goes, like I was saying, there is a difference in who mastered what. So the mastering on the vinyls and the CDs is Miles Shallow.
Okay.
But on the double LP, which is 180 gram at 45.
Slow. The half speed.
Yeah, the half speed one.
That's going to be real slow.
No. It is still him. He just did it at Abbey Road Studio.
Yeah, it's going to sound the same. It's just on 2 LPs. Like one's a 45 speed, the other's 33.
Yeah.
4 sides then, so it'll be like you're
I know,
saying,
you're
like
flipping
one
it
song
every
on
2
each
songs.
side.
And
2
honestly,
songs
you're really, unless you have to have really amazing stereo speakers to even really feel the difference in that minute difference probably in it. Where I'm like, I know at least it was mastered for vinyl, or like with that in thought, it's not like they're taking stuff later and just shoving things that wasn't mastered for, but so it's done at Abbey Road Studio, which is cool.
I guess that kind of merges into our million merch or purchasing options here. Almost a little too many variations, I think. It got a little annoying because I kind of felt like every link I clicked on from all the different emails and what was posted on Facebook links, they all had different kind of shit. Like I didn't see the marble thing in there initially. That was in one email. And then like some of the images are a little different too.
Yeah.
Just like the beanie cap and shit was different on one than it was on the other. And I'm sure it's all the same, but then like I was just afraid that I'm picking the wrong thing, and I wasn't quite sure if the 2LP was the same as the half speed quality one, because they were calling them slightly different things at each one. And so it was a little unclear, but you know, I guess it's always better to have more. And I felt like the prices even varied on some of them. I pulled it all up in one, and it was off by like $2 compared to the official store, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't like ordering it from the official store in Spain or some bullshit. You know, it's gonna take twice as long to get here. But I don't know. That was the other always slight bummer, other than the 8-tracks too, was seeing that it ships on like November
day
1st
before,
or
we're not going to get it for at least a week until after the album.
Or you could pay the $45 to get it 2 days later.
At that point, if I'm not getting it the morning of, then it's like whatever. I don't care.
Like, I've waited 16 years. I think I can wait an extra week to get the physical copy. So,
I do the prices for the t-shirts and everything were phenomenal. Although they're fucking, whoever designs like the merch, like the actual like just like the clip art they're using for like the shirts are fucking terrible. And like the designs and it just makes it look really, really bad and unprofessional. But like I don't understand why they're doing that, and they keep doing it like with everything. But
it looks good once you get it.
Now, did you
it looks good when you get it, but like it looks like shit on there. And I'm like,
I have to use my imagination when I'm spending $100 worth of shit that I'm buying. You know, I'm like,
So, but they had coffee mugs, and they had like a journal, which I saw somebody on like one of the fan site buy. I'm like $25. I'm all right. And then like they had the classic bucket hat. Bucket hat. I did not buy, but the only thing I got was the white LP, just because I've been out of work more. Like I'm taking a day off of work extra a week because of my knee. So like kind of tight on money, but I got that. So
that's cool.
Thought about getting the cassette, but I was like,
What did you set on, Antonio, or have you not pushed the button yet?
No, I did pull the trigger. So I got the white vinyl. I got the CD. I did not get the deluxe CD because like the instrumental, you know, I can find that somewhere.
And the Blu-ray version in the car.
If the Blu-ray was like live footage from the tour, I would have bought it.
Did they confirm that though? Like
it just says like audio version of the album in Dolby. So it's just like if you have surround sound in your living room, I get it. You could throw it in there and play it through the surround sound, and it's set for Dolby Digital, so you'll get like a full 5-speaker experience, which is cool. But I don't have that set up in my house, you know.
And there isn't a version of the CD that's the 2, is there?
No, it's just. And then I ordered the black standard vinyl for Elvis for Christmas, so hopefully he's not listening to this episode. And then I did order the black T-shirt with the album cover that's printed all over it.
Okay. I thought about getting that one too.
Because that one looks like a fashion-y like statement like on the shirt. It's not just like it doesn't look like a square sticker stuck on a shirt. So I was like, that looks kind of cool, you know. And because it's all over, the way that it says The Cure will be a little bit bigger. It's not as hidden, but people won't know what it is. I don't know. I was like, I kind of feeling that, and it's only $25, you know, like.
I think I'll hold off on like the t-shirts and stuff until they start showing up in the mail for people. And then maybe I'll buy it, because like you can still buy tour merch. Like I was going through there, and I was like, oh, I could, because I was like, man, I'm really bummed out I didn't get baseball cards for some of the places we went. And then I was just like, I'm gonna check, and they're pretty much all there.
Wow. Yeah. And even with this merch, the idea of the stock holding up, that was kind of I went all in, like, because I did do like a little where I was scaling back on one version, but then I noticed it was only like $5 difference. So I went stupid with it, where I got the half speed double vinyl, because I figured if that is the fanciest version, And if it's weird in any way, I can always buy a normal one pretty easy somewhere. Even if this all sells out, the record store will have the normal version.
So, I don't think that. Yeah, I think you'll be able to get it on here for quite a while.
Yeah, I think the white one. I think the white one is the one that it says that it's limited.
Yeah, the white one's going to be gone, and probably the double LP will be gone. But I think just the standard black version, you'll be able to get it pretty much anytime.
So I went with the fancy one, even though I'm like the most unaudiophile dude in the world. I'm like, whatever. It's all going to sound good. It's not like one's going to be like the 4-track tape recording or something, So, so I got that, and then I did get the 3 CDs one because I definitely wanted all the 3, but I didn't really care about the Blu-ray, Atmos, whatever. And I did get the tape, but that was the one I scaled back. There's like a 2-tape version or something. There was like a deluxe tape. I don't know what the hell that was, but I just got the single one, which was frivolous enough. So
also,
we'll see.
Also, you know what? Judging by the way that they're describing it, I think the black one is the only one that will be sold in stores because I think the other ones say that they're only.
You might be able to get it at Target.
Store exclusive, meaning like the Cure's exclusive, like only through the website.
Hey, if you get it from Target, you can get 5% off if you use.
That's right. I got my Target Red card. Yeah. Hey, Target, want to sponsor a podcast?
And you'll be buying a ton of other shit too. Get some new socks,
toilet paper,
garden hose. It's all that good stuff. But so it's good. Just I figured if they only put out an official album every 16 years, I can splurge. So we'll see.
So now here's the thing about this album, though. Okay, so this is probably this is the least amount of songs on an LP, right?
No, they definitely had 8-track. Those early albums was like
Faith,
17 second. Faith, some of those are only 8.
Is Faith 8 tracks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
8 or 9.
Well, yeah. So I guess
even
it doesn't.
Pornography. How many's on that? I think a lot. Those first few ones were all 10. Like 8. But so it's. I mean, we know they're going to be long as shit. So I mean, it's probably still going to be longer than all those albums. It's only 8 songs, But it is a bit of a bummer and weird because that track listing we were talking about earlier with Vanishing Song and whatever. So 2 of those didn't make the cut, I guess somehow. So it'll be interesting to see which 2 do pop up, or maybe that whole thing was bullshit and none of those were actual songs or what. But kind of cool that they didn't put the titles on there too, so we'll have a little bit of a surprise when we get them.
Which I'm wondering, maybe maybe this is something where they sneak more they leak more songs because I mean, why not? I mean, it's not, I don't know, they're not releasing singles for physical physical thing, and people have already bought the majority of the albums today.
I was gonna say
there's not
today's
be a
the
lot
day
of
that
people.
everyone's doing their ordering. Like if you want to get this record, you're gonna get it. It's not like people are gonna hear a song on the radio and be like, you know what, that's a good song. Let me go to the record store and buy it. That's not the world we live in anymore. Like,
I know, and I was kind of bummed because as we were talking earlier in this episode of it'd be nice if they didn't do the pre-order because it'd be good to support the record store and just have that little experience of going in and getting it like the old days and coming home with it. But it does suck, like we were saying. You don't know if there is some cool deluxe version. The record store's not ordering all these variations and shit just sitting there on the shelf of the extra super ultra deluxe version and the regular. So
they're already stock full of all the represses and the picture disc.
Right. So I mean, they're just gonna have at best they'll have like maybe the CD option and the double, I don't know, like the standard. They're not gonna have the color vinyl and the other stuff. So it's at best just to get it now, lock it down. We can just fucking wait. That's what we're good at as Cure fans, right? So.
Yeah. Well, my friend Juan was messaging me last night and he was just like, when do you think the pre-order is going to be? And I was just like, oh, we lost Antonio.
Yeah.
I was like, probably, I'm thinking maybe next week. And like, as soon as it came up today, I texted him and he was just like, ordered.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes later, he's just like, I'm
Yeah.
like, what'd you get? And he was like, I got this, and this. And I was just like, oh man, so stoked.
That's what I've been
So
messaging people. I was like, I don't even fully know what the hell I just bought. I just bought everything. I was
yeah,
like, half speed, whatever. The triple Blu-ray version of
yeah.
this.
Well, to be honest, I don't have the speaker set up, which would, justify
Yeah, like Antonio was
buying
saying,
that.
I
And
don't.
like I'm not the kind of person that likes to flip stuff, so like I would get through one song and then I'd forget about it, and then it'd be like, oh man, I didn't flip the record yet 20
Yeah,
minutes later. So oh, Antonio's Wi-Fi went out, so
yeah.
he is gonna
So
be missing the rest of this episode, the rest
it's,
of this time. But
yeah, I think we're winding down here
yeah,
too. But
yeah.
it fits the pattern. We lost you early on the first part of this, and we'll lose you.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do a third part and we'll lose you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
be like.
yeah. Sorry about that.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
So yeah, I think just in general, exciting morning for Cure fans. I think this made it all perfect. We got it now. That it's actually happening, and Alone sounding brilliant is really all we needed from the morning. And
If this is the begin, like I don't know, like because we've dove into a couple Cure albums where the opening track is just so fucking brilliant and the rest is dog shit. Not the rest, but like there's so much of it. But like with this one, I'm so fucking jazzed because we
yeah,
already know what most of the album sounds like. And even if there's a shit track somewhere in there, I can skip over Wendy Time again, like,
yeah,
and
it's
still, absorb the entire rest of the album. But like I'm filled with so much hope based on not just what they played live, but what they played live the tour before with those two other songs that were
mm-hmm,
they wrote but still weren't released,
right,
that were still really good and solid. But with this, it's like we kind of know already what we're buying,
yeah.
and it's
And
just
I saw
like,
some people because it
ugh,
was funny. I was laughing that everyone is loving this, like on
yeah,
initial reaction, and then sure enough, about 3 hours in, I saw the first somebody was like, "It doesn't matter. This is overrated. This is bullshit." And they were soured that they had already
yeah.
heard 6 of the songs or whatever. And I was just like, I mean, there's always going to be
I
that,
know, but like it's
but at
like
the same time, I was kind of like, I like that. Like you're saying, it's kind of like it made me relax a little bit, knowing that there's at least 5 more great songs on this album, even if there's not much more on top of that. It's like fine. We've been saying that for the past year now. Like, who gives a shit? Just put these 6 songs out. If the other ones aren't feeling good to Robert or something,
yeah.
these songs are great, So let's hear them. So that kind of put my nerves at ease, really, knowing
Mhm.
it, which it does spoil it a little, but at the same time, it's going to be way different with the studio version versus the live version. So
Yeah, I guarantee you that guy that posted that like went out to go to the bathroom each time they played like a new song
yeah,
on that tour.
yeah, he was just gonna be pissed
Yeah,
no matter what. So
yeah.
it's just one of those,
I
you know.
I don't I don't understand anybody that could hear this song and not be moved, or
Yeah,
like as a Cure fan. I'm not just a regular person, but like as a Cure fan and not be totally like stoked over this.
yeah, it really checks every Cure box. I can almost even
Really
see
does.
as much as I love like the later poppy songs that like Only One and End of the World and
Yeah.
stuff. I could still see why some people wouldn't love those maybe as a Cure fan, but this I feel like, yeah, how the fuck could you not like this at all? Or like
Yeah.
at least just be like, yeah, it's very strange. So
And
I think,
sorry for the Cure pop fans out there. He's 70 years old. He's not writing another Friday I'm in Love. It's
yeah, like that
this
almost would feel way more
yeah.
insincere. No 65-year-old dudes that
Yeah.
having that great of a time on the dance floor or whatever. It's like
I
this sounds sincere as fuck. So
This is going to sound really sad and depressing, but I think that in 20, 30 years this album is going to be so comforting to us, like as we're getting to that age and
yeah,
like getting older, we're going to feel so much connection to this album compared to some other
yeah,
ones. But like I feel like this and maybe like Faith and some other ones, not that it's gonna like I don't know. You go through so much shit like when you're older that people don't talk about with like the loss of friends and loved ones, and then your failing health
Yeah.
and everything else, and it's just like, man, like he's like
He's
this is going to be
nailing it.
something that you're going to be able to connect to when you get older.
And he's always been that way, which I just never really realized it until like even after Blood Flowers. Like I didn't really like Blood Flowers until I got to 40, and I was like, I get it a little more now. I think I get it. And
I didn't really like we've said before. I didn't really appreciate Disintegration until I fucking got married and went through shit. And I was like, I love that album, but like once I started like having that stuff happen, like I'm just like, oh my God, I fucking get this. Like I'm just like I'm in my 30s. I fucking understand what this is all about now, and
which makes sense. He's a good chunk of time ahead of us, but not too far where it seems absurd, and then he's been paving the way the whole time, really. It's like, I get it. That's pretty cool. So I think this is no exception for sure. And hopefully, a good send off if it is the finale. I feel like you can't wrap up any better than these songs so far. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. And a lot more picking apart as it comes. We'll be still kind of doing the later response to this song. And of course, on the horizon there, we got the full album coming up. So very exciting.
So did we figure out when the album's going to drop yet on the East Coast?
We were trying to figure out the time frame. They haven't said, so it all depends on if they're hooking us up or if they're hooking the British up with. And they never even said 1201. It's just November 1st is all we know. So
okay.
So it
Maybe
could be 1201 British time. It could be 1201 our time. It could be like how they did it today, which probably makes the most sense, or they would do it like noonish or
England, and then 7 a.m. here.
That would be something like that. So I don't see us getting it like Halloween night. Which, once I redid the math, I was like, oh wait, so 5 hours back would be like awesome. It's like right at prime Halloween hour. I don't think we'll be that lucky, but who knows? Could be, because it would be 1201 British time then. Yeah, so
I'd be sitting out with the fire, watching trick or treaters come by with my AirPods in.
So who knows? I mean, everybody kind of wins with that. I'm sure plenty of British people will be staying up past 12 o'clock,
absolutely.
So it's it could be, but I don't know. That would be like the bulk of the whole, U.S. getting it on, earlier. But
we deserve it. We're number one. As I say that crying. I'm pretty stoked. I'm deciding if I want to take off work November 1st.
Yeah. So that'll be the Friday.
I don't know if I can
swing it.
I'm wondering if I can absorb the album with a bunch of dogs around me, but
it's gonna be tough to like we said, we're just gonna have to I'm going for a walk. I'm gonna go grocery shopping and just take 5 hours. I
got really lost in the frozen vegetables. I'm sorry.
Traffic's terrible out there today. Laying in a field somewhere.
Crawled up in a ball. I am thrilled about this. I don't get excited about very many things, and this one is something next to the tour that was coming up. This is the most excited I've been about a music thing in quite a while. So
and each little step of this is making it more and more that way. I was holding it back. I would have gotten excited with the first email of the rock flying around, but I was just trying to be keeping my shit in, don't lose it. Something could throw a wrench in this and make it really stupid, but then I'm like, no way, man, this is gonna be fucking great. So
with the pre-order on top of it was just icing on the cake, because we had speculated on a previous episode. There's no way they kept this under wraps for so long, unless they have some kind of speedy deal with someone like overnight where they take all the bulk of the vinyl and like figure out how much extra they need. But like that seems like a nightmare. I don't know how they do that, but hey, I don't know.
So yeah, it'll kind of suck if it takes, like 4 months to get it out or something ridiculous. But at the same time, we'll have the streaming, it'll be
all
out
I need
there,
is the music, man. The physical shit can come later. I just want to listen to something. Of course, I would love to listen to it on my record player, like to start off with, and just absorb that. But like, as that's just kind of nostalgic when in fact, I just kind of want to listen to music outside.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like whatever.
It's like the old days of like, that's kind of why I miss like the tape or the CD of like having to have that portable thing of like going outside that you don't really get with a record. So like, I think this one needs to be listened to in a certain atmosphere.
Yeah, so. That's why I kind of gave into the fancier vinyl, because if I am sitting there, I might as well get the best version of it, so I'm like definitely not going to be doing that regularly, so I might as well splurge.
Oh yeah. If we had the sound system, like I said, I probably would have done it, but like Rebecca has very sensitive ears, so like she's like very like we have to watch subtitles and stuff. Like too loud. I'm just like, okay. So but yeah, awesome. I am super stoked. I know that other Cure fans are feeling the same way we are.
I've already been getting lots of great messages from everybody out there. That's why I was even shocked to see somebody that was griping in the slightest so far. I was like, there's always going to be one. Yeah, I
saw one that's like I'm kind of stoked, but like I'm upset there's only 8 tracks, and I'm just like, okay.
That's what I mean. It's like, of course we all want more, but at the same time, it's like, whatever, dude, as long as it's got the 6 that we want, and and even if they scratch one of those, that would be interesting, but
who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So we'll see. But that adds some extra drama and fun to it. So,
super excited. So,
cool. Well, I guess we'll wrap here for now. Like I said, we'll be talking about this a lot coming up. So, new thoughts will come to all of us, I'm sure, as new details unravel too. So, here we go. Waiting with smiles on our faces. So, here we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's in the bag. Like, that's the other thing. It's like, it's real. Like no speculation. It's not a fucking show. It's not all this other bullshit. It's an actual record. I bought it. It's going to show up at my house. We have at least one song. So
exactly. That's all we needed. So, it feels good. A little sigh of relief. So, awesome, man. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for listening. And we'll say goodbye for the second time this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, me for the first time, but.
Yeah, true. And on behalf of Antonio this time, we'll say talk hard. Oh shit, we still gotta do the Patreon, so let's do this lightning speed style this time. Sorry guys, of course you're appreciated, but the rain's pouring down hard out there. The hurricane is hitting right now. It's gonna fucking kill me, isn't it? And I'm gonna die before this album comes out. Yep. No, not if I can help it. Can't die. Don't you die on me now, Gavin. Alright, Patreon style. Here we go. Giant thank you to our loyal, awesome Patreon crew: Donna, Craig, Jeff Hilton, Jeff Cortland Jones, Sue, Ben, John, Alan, Allison, Dion, Namicio, Matt, Danny, Bunny Lake, Coulter, Matt Ford, Tom Johnson, Tom Burns, Letty, John Roberts, Francisco, Jason, Amber, Nicholas, Arno, Chad, Shirley, Jason Hall, and an extra special shout out to our newest member, Tony. Hello and welcome, Tony. And of course, Scott Kruger, who is back from Ireland and rejoined his crew at the Sarlacc Digest, where they bring you the finest in Star Wars podcasting every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time, YouTube and on Facebook. Catch the replays everywhere you listen to podcasts. And hoping to have Scott back on the show here very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for him. Kate over at CureThreads.com and Cure Arts Collab on Instagram are about to kick off Curetober. This year you will create Cure art for each day of the month inspired by lyrics of your favorite Cure songs. So go on over and check out the pinned post on Cure Arts Collab and get all the details on how to create and post your Cure art all month long. Not only has this become a wonderful October tradition leading up to Halloween, but this year is extra special because it leads up to Songs of a Lost World. Tanya would like to spread awareness of 988lifeline.org, a suicide and crisis hotline available 24/7. So if you or anyone you are in need of help, please don't be afraid to reach out for help. Tim at New Waterloo is a hospitality company, so go check out their work at newwaterloo.com. And an extra special shout out to Tim because it sounds like November 1st is not only Songs of a Lost World Day, but a very big day for them and the Albert Hotel. So congrats to Tim. And Dana would like to remind you to make sure you're registered to vote. We are very distracted by this Cure album, but there's a terrifying presidential election just around the corner, so make sure you're registered to vote. Go to vote.gov if you don't know if you're registered or haven't figured that out yet. Lisa, the bottle of wine is officially kicked in. Lisa recommends you check out DickensYYC.com up in Calgary, Canada to see all kinds of great events and bands and trivia nights, dance nights, drag shows, the works up at Dickens in Canada, as well as Jessica wants you to get your goth fix at Club Nevermore, whether it's a show hosted by Club Nevermore or presented by Club Nevermore. All kinds of great stuff, and something really cool is bound to be happening for Halloween, so go to clubnevermore.com to get detail and listing of events. And don't forget Chaz's other podcast, the Excommunication Station, where he and Chrissy take on the evangelical church and all the hilarious and terrifying truths that they unearth. So bound to be some great demonic fun over there through the month of October. Please consider joining our Patreon crew, but more so check out our Facebook page and our Instagram page and follow those, and the YouTube page too. And check out Henson has a video we're going to post here on the YouTube page of his reaction video. We always laugh at those reaction videos and how goofy they are. So we made one for him listening to Alone for the first time in his life, ever hearing it, the studio version that is, and we posted that on YouTube. So go give it a watch. It's pretty funny. And otherwise, we'll catch you soon. Let's wrap up for the third time and go listen to Alone about 5,000 more times. Let's make this the #1 stream song in the world. The boys are back in town. All right. Catch you in 2 weeks, guys, if not sooner.